Cowboy Bebop by Peter Chimera. A Thor's note. Someone had idea I should write a Cowboy Bebop fanfic, but I never watch it and don't know if it's about, but I had a idea. So I decided instead I write it about Bebop from Ninja Turtles if he was a cowboy. Bebop had a walking all over until he got tired for a drink. "I will drink this water," it said, and then he drank it, but there wasn't any. "Where will I get water?" Bebop said because he was in the desert, and the nearest town was close by, but he had to get there in time. "We have some water, but it will coat you barely," said two mans, and they were cowboys, and that wore black, which in the Texas said they were which in the Texas said that they were outlawing. "I will buy your water if you are." But then one of them said, "Now you must give us all your money, then we will give you water." And they took their guns out and pointed them at Cowboy Bebop. Bebop spin-kicked his head off so hard it hit the other guy in the head and gave his nose bleeding. "Ah, my friend's head," he said, and then fainted dead. He picked up the mugger head and said, "It was a good idea I kicked you." But he still didn't have water, so he had to get to town. But it was important to keep it ahead, because it might be later, fucking Peter Chimera, because it might later be useful. Author's Snot. The mugger's head did not have blood on it because the story is rated only PG, so it is like when the head cuts off in Star Wars. Luckfly, he arrived at town in the moment too soon for comfort. "Who goat slayer?" asked the town sheriff. "We can unafford to bring in such cattle as you." So Bebop said, "I'm on your side, and here is proof." And he showed them the head that he took with him, cleverly. "That is an outlaw's head. You are welcome to our town." And the town cheered and gave him some water. "Not so fat," said a cowboy Baxter Stockman, but it was Baxter Stockman before he turned into a fly and he was just a regular Boxster. He pointed at Bebop holding the head and said about the head, "That head's my friend who worked for me and is not an outlaw." The sheriff laughed at him and said, "Do you have proof?" And Baxter said, "No, and what's with sad?" But then when Bebop looked, the head was gone. "Where did head go? That is my only proof that I am on the law." So Bebop went to the outlaw's hideout and took out his gunks. "Do not shoot us, Bebop!" "Okay." So Bebop put his guns away and had Civil Lizard talking with at them. "We are only outlaws because we have no money." "That is not an excusing, so you must come with me and prove my innocence." "I'm afraid that is not possible, Mr. Bebop," said the outlaw boss, who Wasp have big mustache. "Are you here to ambush me, you scum?" Bebop turned around and his gun shot into his hands and he turned around and shot all the bullets. "You missed, Captain Bebop!" And the boss jumped over the table to attack him with his rifle. But Bebop said, "That's why I always have one more bullet left." And he put it in his gun. And he put it in his gun and shot the boss face through the window. And the bullet bounced back and hit Bebop's eye. "Ow, my eye!" Bebop wrecked. "I will have to wear eye patch now." "Thanks for saving me," said a nephew. "You're welcome for saving the day, but now I am out of bullets." The other outlaws, because they were Roke, to begin again this time, being on the side of right and order. Bebop put on eye patch and he returned him boy to the major. "Thanks for saving my friend's nephew. But this is not the only time," said Bebop, and he took off the mayor's hat and he saw he was Baxter Stockman in the sky, so Bebop shot out his guns. "Don't shoot, you nuisance." "Why would I spare your life?" "Well, but because if you shoot at me, I kill the cowboy Ruckstreddy." "No, that does not happen," Bebop said and shot Baxter 12 times. Where do you get the bullets from, though? "Haha, you have made mistake. You did not fire the extra shot." "Yes, I got it from the outlaws." Okay, so that's where he got the bullets from. "They are such traitor!" Baxter yelled, and then he died, and Bebop had just one shot left, so he used it to untie Rucksteady before the trap happened. "Thanks for saving me from the trap," Rucksteady became. "You better." Bebop laughed, but no one got the joke because he said it wrong. The Land! Thank you for watching. Please check out my other videos. They're also things. And if you found a fanfiction that's particularly dirty or interesting, then please send it to me via the YouTube message system and I'll get right to it. I promise I actually will. Unless I don't like it, then I'll probably just let you sit alone in my inbox, never to be touched.